Hello again, everyone. I'm Jeremy Jones, and welcome to another episode of the Coach's Corner. What I want to talk about today is a little bit about training, understanding what your best things you can do, what we're trying to achieve when we train, and how we have to change it up a bit. You know, for a long time, players would practice, of course, the break shot is so important, and then a lot of running out, which, don't get me wrong, you can't replace that because you come up with situations that you just can't think of. Even if you're someone that makes all the drills in the world, there's always going to be something unique with rotation. So that's always a good one to use. Of course, your jump shots, your kick shots, banking, and everything else in between, you should certainly practice. But sometimes we have to set up situations or a shot itself and understand that maybe it won't come up for a while, but it has a lot of quality because it gets you in a good position with training, and it makes you start to understand some things. Now, one of the biggest flaws I see when it comes to drills and training itself, multi-ball drills or individual one shot at a time kind of drills. Players a lot of times, and I see this with pros a lot because they post a lot of stuff, of course, and maybe a time crunch is the problem, but players will get down and just kind of shoot the balls in, not really going through their mental process, what they might normally do in a game or a competitive situation. So again, it's good for the arm a little bit to just get down and loosen it up. But when we really talk about training, we want to get into your aiming, which we've learned about, your stroke, you know, the physical process before the stroke, the mental process, which is your pre-shot routine. Those things need to be in your practice because it's very hard to expect it whenever you're in competition if you haven't practiced it prior. So again, I see a lot of pros even get down, they just kind of shoot one after another, and you can see the talent, of course, but I don't think they're doing themselves all the biggest favors without going through the entire spectrum of what we need to go through. So I've set up just a couple simple things. One I really like, if you've ever watched me give a lesson, I always start off a lesson with the ball on the spot here. The object ball's on the first diamond past the side, just a ball's width off. And what I like to do with this and why I use this, and if I do it with a total beginner, I do it a little differently, but if someone has played a little bit, is I like a player to understand that we're going to do a ton of the same things before the final swing. And that's what makes good players so good, is we do a lot of the same things over and over and over, understanding that the downswing will change on its own. So like a shot like this, the kind of sequence I go through is just let's roll the ball one rail over, then let's roll the ball two rails over. Then we go with the draw stroke coming back, maybe with a little side spin, that being low outside. Then two rails back and forth, which is kind of a stun draw. And then I like to finish with inside English coming three rails around. And the reason why I picked this shot is there's already going to be easy cue ball movement, so we don't have to really get into the swing so much, which is most of the players' flaws anyways. So we get to develop our medium stroke with this. And again, we want to feel like our pre-strokes, our pause at the cue ball, even the start of the backswing is very, very much the same or similar from shot to shot. Understanding our talent and, you know, kind of the brain connecting to the arm will make the downswing a little different on its own. We really don't have to try and get into the swing so much. And then again, do like most of the better players or top players, do a lot of the same things over and over. That's one of the biggest keys to being better, is not having a vast assortment of different things we do from shot to shot, right? We want to maintain and keep it real simple. So kind of understand that shot. It's a shot I got from SVB. I used to watch him practice all the time, and then the last 30 minutes or so, he would shoot this shot a bunch of different ways, checking his timing and seeing how the ball was going in the pocket. Now here's another one that we use a lot with the pros and the Mosconi Cup players. Is called the cutting edge. You can see the 15s on the first diamond past the side. It's probably somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch off. Cue ball in the dead center of the table. And what we try to do with this shot is understand that rotation on the cue ball and the completion of the stroke with some good timing or tempo. You may use the word rhythm. That really gets a lot done. And again, go through your process. Like even when I'm shooting this one ball drill, I still say to myself, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 rails back over and bounce off, because that kind of connects the brain with the arm, and that's what I want to do in the competitive situation. So again, I'll find my shot line, I'll come down on the ball, I'll make a couple good pre-strokes to the pause, and then slice the ball. Now I got a little quick there, that's why it hit a little thick to the pocket. But the main thing about this episode is to make you understand that training isn't about, oh, let me just hit the ball hard, get the arm loose. It's really starting to connect the mental side of the game to the physical side of the game. Because again, all these episodes are about building something you can rely on. So put these pieces together and the game should improve.